to my channel. This is my first ever makeup tutorial, so please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's cute for the club or going out at nighttime, definitely nighttime, for the fall season before November is over. So if you like this look, please stay tuned to watch my tutorial. So now I'm taking my Lorac behind the scenes primer, rubbing that all over my eyes. Next, I'm taking my Lush Handmade Cosmetics Wise and rubbing that all over my lid, just packing it on. Make sure you make a clean line. Now I'm grabbing my custom Morphe palette that I created at the store, grabbing the color Nuts for You, and just rubbing that all in the crease. This is a nice transition color. And I'm using a Morphe brush that doesn't have a name, but it's kind of a big fluffy brush. It's bigger than like a usual size. Now I'm grabbing my Lorac Unzipped Gold palette, taking the color Unedited and going in the crease. This is going to darken it up and give it that nice rich brown. Make sure you blend it out really well and don't put it up too high. Now I'm grabbing my big fluffy brush again for the crease and going back in just to smooth it out and blend in the unedited color and the Nuts for You. Make sure it's really soft and don't blend it too high so that it goes into your highlight. Now I'm taking Urban Decay Blackout, my favorite black eyeshadow, and just putting that in the outer corners with my Morphe brush. This is kind of like a bullet looking brush. Just round it out, and then you can place it a little bit on the inner corner where the green is, but not too much. Blend it. Now going back in with my big fluffy brush, blending out the black with our brown and then the lighter transition color, just blending everything in. And going back in with the black just to make it a little more defined and kind of point it out a little bit. Now I'm taking the color Undeniable, and this is kind of like a tan brown, and this is a really nice color to blend everything out towards the highlight. I always blend this color with my highlight. Now I'm grabbing my flat Morphe brush and I'm taking the color Undressed and putting that in my highlight. I don't like to use concealer because I find that it looks too like chalky, and I just think it's easier to blend just a color with your transition color rather than to use concealer on the highlight, and then yeah, it just looks like too much and it doesn't blend nicely, for me at least. But this color is great. It really stands out and it's really pigmented. Now I'm going back in with my big fluffy brush and blending out the highlight and that tan color I had there. And just going back in now and defining the black, pointing it out a little bit, and adding in some more color. Now I'm taking Eco Brow, the eyebrow gel in the color Rita, and my Morphe eyebrow brush with the spoolie at the end. And I'm underlining the bottom of my brow just to kind of define it and save me some steps that I'll be doing later with my brows. Now I'm taking my LA Girl HD primer and rubbing that all over my face. And now I'm adding mascara. This is just a little bit so that it blends with your eyelashes, and it helps me when I put on eyeliner so that it's not, it doesn't like clump my lashes before I get the chance to use mascara. I find this helpful. So now I'm taking just the e.l.f. eyeliner. I use liquid. I prefer liquid because it's more defined and it's easier for me to use most of the time. For heavier looks like this, I like liquid. And if I'm just doing a look with eyeliner and lashes and like no eyeshadow. So for me, eyeliner comes easy. I know for some people it's really hard and it takes a while to perfect. You can always put tape by the end of your eyebrow and then the right side of your eyes, line it up and use tape as a guideline for your liquid eyeliner, because I know it can really be hard to get it right when it comes to liner. I've been doing it for a while, so I just know where to go, but sometimes it's not always even. I mean, you can't beat yourself up about that either, because it's not always going to be even or perfect, but definitely tape helps to get it right. Now I'm just rubbing off my lashes from the clumps of the liner. Sometimes it clumps up there. Now I'm lining my waterline with black Maybelline retractable liner on the top and bottom of the outer corners of my eyes, about halfway in the waterline. Now I'm taking my white NYX liner on the inner of my waterline. This makes it really pop. I love white liner. Now I'm taking the Callus Clear Eyelash Glue. This is a good one. Rubbing it all over my Slayla by Flutter lashes, my favorites. And just really line that up well. Make sure that the inner corners are close to your natural lashes. Like the same, width when you pull it inside. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah. And push it in really well. Be careful And it's gonna dry clear, so don't worry. Doing the same on the other side, putting a thin line but not too thin where it's not enough glue, and lining it on the inner corner with your natural lashes. Now I'm taking my Morphe foundation brush and my HG Makeup Forever foundation. Now I'm grabbing my LA Girl Pro Concealer in Creamy Beige and just putting that underneath my eyes. This is really pigmented, so I don't use too much. Drag it down a little bit, kind of like a triangle shape. And use the Beauty Blender. I can't find my real Beauty Blender, but this works alright for now. And just blend it out as you would. The inner corners are hardest for me because I can't really reach in there with the Beauty Blender. But make sure you blend it out good. Now I'm using my finger for the inner corners. I could probably use a brush, but I don't know. I guess I didn't think of it at the time. So just use your finger, whatever works best for you to get in there. Or if you have a baby Beauty Blender, that would be great. The small ones are really good. And fixing the outer corners where the eyeliner is, be careful not to put the concealer over your liquid liner. Be careful of that. Now I'm cleaning up the eyeshadow that was underneath my liner, just taking it off with a little Q-tip and going back in and fixing it with my concealer, the spot that I had removed. Now taking my HD Makeup Forever translucent powder and my pressed powder puff, I'm going to pack that underneath my eyes, because I do not want my concealer to crease, so make sure you get that first and let it bake. Pack it under there, and you can put it all over your face too, just to set your face. One thing I forgot here is after you do this step, you can add another powder over it, just like I'm doing now with this white one. You can add another one that's your skin color, which I totally forgot in this video. Now taking my Aziza Black Brown Silkening Eye Pencil, I really like this. It's cheap. You can find it at the dollar store, but it's really great. It's not too heavy, and the color is perfect for my eyebrows, but I only use it in the areas that I really need some darkness, like on the outer parts of my eyebrows. I don't want it to be too dark, so I don't use it all over. Now going back in and cleaning that up with my brush I used to do the highlight earlier. Just brightening it up if I may have went over the line a little bit. Of course, I'm turning up. And going back in with Rita Eco Brow. And now filling in the rest of my brows. Do it lightly. I couldn't find my other color. I don't really like this color that much. The other one I use is called Penelope, and it's more of a darker brown. This is what I used when I had blonde hair. So I can't find the other one, but this is fine for now. Sorry, I'm kind of in the way again. But just filling it out. Make sure you follow the line of your natural eyebrows. And don't have too much of a heavy hand. Again, going back in with that highlight color and just correcting anything I may have overlined. Now taking one of my fluffy Morphe brushes, I'm going to brush off all that HD translucent powder. This is where I would add the other color I was telling you about, which is kind of important so that you don't look too white or anything like that. Now I'm taking my Sorme. This is a tinted eyebrow gel, and it's kind of like a light color for blondes, but I like to use it because I don't want my eyebrows to look too dark. So this kind of lightens them up a little bit, and I like how it looks. And if it gets kind of clumpy in certain areas, you can kind of tap it with your finger like I'm doing here. Looking cute, almost done. So now I'm taking my Morphe angle brush and I'm going back in with that tan color and I'm adding that underneath just for a smoky look. Underneath my eyelids. Don't do it too thick. Make sure the line is kind of thin because I don't like it to look too like dragged down. So just make sure it's kind of a clean line, not too thick, not too thin. And kind of lines up with your eyeliner. And bring it close enough to the inner corners, but not too close, because you need room for the white, which is what I'm doing here on another Morphe brush, and just really defining that inner corner. I'm using the LA colors. This is kind of like a random one, but it's a really pretty white. I'm having trouble finding like a good pearly white for the inner corners of my eyes. I can never really find one, but this is just what I found and it works okay. So now I'm using my Mary Luminizer and I'm putting that on the inner corners. This is the best highlighter ever, but yeah, you can put it also on your highlight, your brow bone, just to make it pop a little more. Taking my Falsies mascara and just applying that to my lower lashes to even it out with my huge lashes on the top. Make sure it's not too clumpy on the bottoms either. I kind of use my finger here just to get the clumps off if there's any on the bottoms. Now I'm taking my Rich Bronze Cream Foundation Stick. I got this at Amy's. It's a house brand, but it's pretty good. I really like it, and it's easy for me to use. I like the stick. So just kind of put that in your contour areas very lightly. Dab it a little bit, and going back in with your beauty blender using the fat side, and kind of blend it up. Try not to blend it down. Blend it up so that it kind of fades in towards the top. You don't want anything below your cheekbones. Otherwise it's going to look too much. You can always correct that later, but just try to push it upward. It'll give it a nice fade look. There you go. So blend it left and right and then upward. This is kind of a difficult beauty blender to use. I wish I had my real one, but I can't find it anywhere. But like I said, you gotta work with what you got sometimes. Then underneath, really getting it too. Make sure you blend this well. You can kind of blend it into your neck too, which I didn't do. But it's good to blend it into your neck because, you know, you don't want to look like a little off. So then your forehead, make sure you get that good too. And blend it in with your hairline as best as you can. You can use your finger to kind of rub it into your hairline a little bit. And then fix your cheeks a little. Sometimes fingers are really great tools. Don't underestimate them. Going back and correcting. Now I'm going in with an angled Morphe brush, kind of like a blush brush, and this pretty blush, I don't know the name of it, but it's kind of like pink peach color and it has lots of shimmer in it. and just the apples of your cheeks and a little bit higher. Back in with my Mary Luminous. They're the best highlighter ever, and just putting that in your highlighted areas. I don't like to use too much highlighter. Yeah, and then this is a NYX Dusty Rose lipstick. I couldn't find my other one.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below.